Harry's wife. A parting of the ways. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We turn to an article by G.O. News from the enigmatically named Webbed Desk. As always, I leave it for you to make a determination about the veracity of the material. I provide you with the analysis. The headline tells us, Harry's wife thinking to part ways with Prince Harry amid divorce predictions. Once again, rumours swirl, of course, about there being divorce between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. There are those that suggest that they've already separated and that there continues to be sham appearances for the part and purpose of making money. Would a narcissist engage in such behaviour? Absolutely, because of course, dealing with something that's a sham is part and parcel of what a narcissist does on a daily basis. Although, of course, much of what the unaware narcissist engages in, they do not regard it as a sham. Of course, if she knew, by knowing that they were, of course, separated, she would be knowingly participating in the sham, but it would be legitimised in her mind. She wouldn't see that there's anything morally wrong with pretending to still remain as a unit. Her narcissism would convince her that what she is doing is entirely appropriate. That's, of course, the case if they have separated and they're maintaining an artifice of the marriage being one that is continuing. But it may well be the case that it does, and there has been no separation, despite the fact that they haven't been seen in public for some time together. But more about that, as that's just recently changed. I'll be covering that in a forthcoming video, so you don't need to make mention of it in the comments just yet. Assuming, therefore, that they remain together under a married couple, what about these further rumours? Well, the fact is, as I have explained in parts passing with regard to the dynamic of this relationship and where it will end up, there is a strong probability that divorce will occur. This is because of the dynamic that exists between a narcissist and the victim is one whereby either the victim will escape, which means Harry would divorce her, or she disengages from him, meaning that she would divorce him, or neither of those things happen, and the roller coaster of an abusive relationship continues until one of them shuffles off this mortal coil. Now, ordinarily, in a healthy relationship, the relationship would persist. Yes, there would be the vagaries that life throws at it, but it wouldn't have the up and down of a narcissistic dynamic because neither of the parties needs to control the other and doesn't engage in abusing the other party. That, of course, is entirely different when you have the narcissistic dynamic. And as I've explained elsewhere, that is why so many marriages end in an acrimonious and nasty fashion, because invariably they involve a narcissist. I've also explained elsewhere in a video which you really ought to watch about the greatest investment you'll ever make. The fact is that the person that you choose to live with, possibly marry, not only has a huge impact upon you in terms of how they affect your happiness, your level of contentment, your relationships with other people, your physical and mental health, and so many other aspects, but they also have a huge bearing upon your offspring, should you choose to have them. But I'll be touching on that on another occasion with regard to the impact that a narcissist has upon your offspring, both in terms of what those children may become and also how they're affected by the fact that one of their parents is a narcissist. That will also, of course, have applicability to the situation with regard to the children of the Sussexes, given that one of their parents is a narcissist. But returning to GO News, the article states, Prince Harry and Harry's wife, who have been living with their 2 kids in Monteshitshow since they stepped down as senior working royals in 2020, are buzzing in media about their alleged rift. The Duchess of Sussex has repeatedly sought time apart from her husband Harry amid the predictions about the couple's divorce. It seems to me that this is probably idle speculation. Although, as I've stated, there is a good chance that divorce will occur, the reason for the separation at the current time, or rather time apart, is nothing to do with the fact that divorce is on the horizon, but everything to do with the fact of she's hanging him out to dry, as I've explained in that excellent video of that name. Harry's wife's absence from her husband's promotional TV interviews for Spare and silence after the book's success has set tongues wagging about their relationship, as some have begun to speculate that there is trouble in their marriage. Well, it is correct that there is trouble in their marriage because there's a narcissist and her victim, which means that given the time that has passed, he is, of course, in the sustained devaluation, which means potentially he could be cheated on. It means that he'll be suffering silent treatments, both present and absent, baleful glares, cold shoulders. Also, because it's behind closed doors, away from that all-important facade, undoubtedly he'll be on the receiving end of heated fury as well. Vitriolic attacks upon his character assassinations, shouting matches, argumentativeness, false accusations coming out of nowhere, bringing up the past, future faking, pity plays, the whole shebang. Undoubtedly, that will be happening, and, of course, it's part of the sustained devaluation, which naturally demonstrates that there is trouble in their marriage. There are also reports that the former Suits star reportedly does not want to divert the attention away from the Duke by stealing the spotlight with her presence. That's bollocks. She always wants the spotlight. But according to Heat magazine, she chose to stay away because she wanted to be seen as a person in her own right, i.e. making it all about her, and that it annoys her that she's labelled clingy. Well, of course. Such a label is a threat to control, and therefore it is bound to annoy her. She believes that the more time they spend apart, the more business ventures they can do independently, residual benefit. The publication pointed out that Harry has not got nearly the same number of friends in America as Harry's wife. That, of course, is one of the reasons that she moved him there, so that he's isolated from friends and family, so he's easier to control. Remember, she didn't consciously think about doing that. That is what her narcissism did subconsciously. The article continues, so it's a real change for him to suddenly detach himself from her following all 3 years as a unit. He considers it a big change to have to follow his wife's advice that it'll do them both good to spread their wings a little. Notice here that the narcissist appears to be relinquishing control by letting him do his own thing, but she's not. Because it's her decision to impose that on him, it therefore is not a threat to control, and it is all part of the hanging him out to dry. The new claims about the couple have come following predictions that Harry and Harry's wife are heading for divorce. Earlier in January, a psychic claimed that their marriage will start to fracture and ultimately lead to them separating, and this would turn Prince Harry into a deeply troubled man. You don't need to be a psychic to look at that. You simply need to understand the narcissistic dynamic. So it would appear, of course, that the recent period of time where she has remained out of the limelight and they've not been doing things together is seized upon by people to speculate that divorce is on the horizon. As I've explained, divorce is likely with these two, but I wouldn't say that it's yet on the horizon. There's much more of the sustained devaluation that he is yet to experience. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.